let's talk about. Wait, we got to give it a proper introduction. This segment is not just another segment, it's our latest edition of Brooke's Buzz.
So last week we talked about Matt, James, and Rachel, and there's just been some new developments. Basically, Rachel went on the Call Her Daddy podcast with Alex Cooper.
Yeah.
And she really just told everything that kind of went down. And you could tell she was very much still in the early phase of okay, this is still setting in. Yeah. But basically what it comes down to is he told her, you have some qualities that I don't really see in my future wife, and I'm not really sure that I see us going in that direction. And she was like, well, if you are having trouble seeing that after 4 years, then it's not I can't stay in this, right?
Well, I think he broke up with her.
Well, he did, but that was her thought.
Well, yeah, after he broke up with her. I get what you're saying, though.
Okay. Well, anyway, so then they were on a trip when this kind of all came about.
Mm-hmm. To Japan.
She had a flight back on her own. And right before she got on the flight, or while she was sitting on the flight, is when she saw his breakup post.
Did you discuss about how that all started with the restaurant thing?
No, but I just feel like that's irrelevant.
I think it is a little relevant because it's the onus of what caused this breakup. He was saying she was looking for a restaurant for him because he's a food influencer. She says he was like, you got to pick. You know what I mean? He didn't participate in it. Mm-hmm. She picked a bad restaurant. And so that's why she was crying in the restaurant.
So she got upset because she felt like it wasn't
worthy of a post.
Well, yeah, she felt like she had kind of not done a good job of what is their job, which is influencing. Right.
And that's why he was like, well, if you're going to cry over something like this, when something big happens, how can I trust you to be my wife? And that's when he brought up the qualities of all things.
Yeah, that's true. Right. No, that's true. But I just feel like there probably was more going on in his head prior to that. Probably for a while.
I agree.
So, that's why I'm like, was it really that? But I guess that's the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak.
Yeah.
But she said on the podcast she can't get back together with him because of what he said. Not that it was on the table, but if she... Okay.
What?
You don't believe her?
No, I do believe her. I'll say my comments for the end. I want to hear what you got to say.
That's pretty much it. I mean,
yeah, it's so crazy. Matt James is just, it's like, there's a brief moment where I was like, it's actually the right thing to do if you've been dating someone for 4 years. And you have a moment of clarity that you're not going to propose to them and say, actually, no, this isn't going to work. Mm-hmm. There's no point in dragging. There is no nice, considerate way to do that, as much as people say there is. Mm-hmm. Because if the other person likes you, they're going to be like, huh? Mm-hmm. But I think the aftermath of her flying home alone, dropping the breakup Instagram stuff is very weird.
Yeah.
I think if her account of how he was very kind of like, oh, you're crying, is very callous, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And in general, it's starting to look back. You brought up the videos from their relationship that they were never, ever really, and we know it because they don't end up together in a good spot to get married, Right. In the sense that if we go back to their season, he didn't propose to her at the end. This is before all the drama of their lives started.
Right. She did say that they had a conversation about that before.
Oh, really?
And so she knew he wasn't going to propose, so she was fine with it.
Right. But it's also the show is like, get married, get engaged. Yeah. So he couldn't even commit to an engagement.
Right.
At that point.
Right.
Then her antebellum parties came out, and he kind of dragged her on national TV. Mm-hmm. if you're going to get to with someone and marry them, dragging them on national TV, although it might be what they deserve, and I do think dressing up as slave owners is worthy of criticism. You know what I mean? It's different when you're about to choose to marry your spouse. You got to support your spouse.
Sure.
Right? Then they dated for 4 years.
Right.
And they're over the age of 25. So it was a bad situation.
Yeah.
They were not going to end up together as much as I think people who are rooting for them wanted to.
Right. But I think what gets me is that he, according to her and Alex Cooper was saying in public public platforms as well, and Rachael confirmed it, that he was saying like he wanted to marry her and like wanted to have a family with her. So that's wrong to do that and then switch up.
Matt, we talked about it last episode. Go listen to our last episode. Matt, we did talk about it last episode, right? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Matt James. There's red flags. The whole, like, my dad cheated on my mom, and now I don't know if I can ever commit, is a sign that I just don't think he really wants to get married. Call it a red flag, call it an opinion or whatever. I don't think he wants to get married. He doesn't take that long unless y'all are working through something. And then to say, I think people can trick themselves into being like, I wanted to marry you.
Sure.
I wanted to be with you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But I couldn't, and like, okay, well then. So that's what I'm saying. Well, who is the woman that's going to come along that could make him commit? And it could exist, but I think he would have to decide for that to happen.
Sure,
He doesn't seem, I didn't want it to be true, but he didn't seem, look in retrospect, like he ever really committed. And if you'll remember, people talked about it online. Claire Crowley, he was supposed to be a contestant on her season, and she found out about the quarantine crew, I believe, saw his social media presence, and was like, I absolutely do not want this guy to be on my season.
Yeah.
And so they had to remove him from the season and announce him as a bachelor.
Yeah.
And basically admit that was the plan the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. Claire Crawley, the girl, she's drama.
She is drama, but she's right on. I remember thinking, like, that's so unfair. But how could you say she was wrong? He looks like a clout chaser who dated a girl for 4 years just to continue to be in the Bachelor Nation sphere, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I think something's going on. January is like the time to break up. I think people are like, it's a new year, I need a fresh start. Because you know who else broke up?
No.
Ashley and Tyler from Love is Blind.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I wish we had more energy. We record this after we put our son to bed, but Ashley, hit her with it, Brooke.
So, just a quick recap. Ashley and Tyler met on Love is Blind. While the show's airing, it comes out that Tyler has 3 kids or 4.
Who knows?
3 kids that he doesn't take accountability for. He doesn't pay child support for.
Yeah.
And then the story goes that he was supposed to just be a surrogate and donor, but then somehow got more involved in their lives. They were calling him dad at one point, but then he stopped doing that. It was a mess. It was a mess.
Yeah.
And at the reunion, when they confronted him about it, they kept it very just like surface level. And Ashley was very like ride or die for her man.
Right.
She was like, I don't care. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's none of y'all's business. We have it handled.
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold. Oh, and they ended up getting married, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a shame. Lo and behold, she decided to leave.
Yeah, it's just like, what changed, Ashley? Everyone was trying to tell you. We all were on your side. We weren't doing this to beat you up.
And I have to be honest, I didn't even read like her statement or anything, because I feel like she probably is still saying like it's not about that, it's just about going in different directions or something.
And the fact that he's a liar. There's nothing in there that we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, we know, Ashley. We were waiting for you.
Yeah.
It was to her being like, some of y'all are single and it shows, and y'all don't even know how to get married. That I don't know why y'all are mad.
It's hard to sometimes admit that you made a mistake. You went for the wrong person. You doubled down. You stayed in it. It's hard to be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Which I could understand had she been surprised prior to their marriage.
Yeah.
But he told her. We saw it on the show.
Yes, but he also lied.
Yeah, he lied.
He was like lying. Like he was there. What did she say? There was something that was like notorious. Where she said, "Do they know your name or do
your face?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I don't think so."
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is later after the show, the interviews, she was like, "There's a lot of stuff that I knew that they didn't air, but just doesn't mean that I don't know. Trust me, I know more than y'all do."
Yeah.
She's like, "Who do you think knows more, y'all or me?" And I'm like, "Okay."
I know.
So again, I'm happy. Well, I'm not happy they divorced, but it's like, oh yeah, we told you.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Love Is Blind, it's coming back.
Yes, Love Is Blind is coming back on Valentine's Day, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then another breakup from Bravo, James Kennedy and Allie.
Okay.
I don't know her last name.
Okay.
They had a situation, a domestic violence allegation, because they had a altercation of voices being raised outside of their home.
Yeah.
And you know, in some states, like you can prosecute for domestic violence. The person doesn't have to press charges.
Yeah. In
Texas, the person, it has to press charges. But anyway, so that I will say the case was dropped. But she did confirm that they broke up following the incident.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it's probably for the best. James, he has a lot to work on. He was sober for a while. He said that he relapsed, and that's when the event took place. And but he's back to sobriety again. So I wish him the best on that. But yeah, another breakup. I'm telling you, January is when people break up.
Yeah.
But in happy news, I don't know if I had talked about this in a prior podcast, but Jadeja and Darian from The Circle are engaged.
Which is crazy.
They're getting married.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, the first Circle US couple that's lasted, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
So congrats to them.
Congrats to them. I love it.
They seem genuine on the show.
Do you think they're going to live in Houston?
If they did, they should. And listen, come on the podcast.
Come on our podcast. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I also feel like now the Circle producers could be like, oh, you could find love here for real.
Right.
Not the fake catfish love, but like for real love.
Right.
Because someone will be getting married and, Lord willing, have babies, you know?
Yeah. Okay, and then that's all I have for Brooke's Buzz.
What a great buzz it was.
Thanks.
What a great buzz it was. Okay, so